We have another member to address us, and the speaker recognizes Representative Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, I'd like to give honor and glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I am so thankful and honored and humbled and thankful to be able to live my dream. And that dream is of service to others, not to be an elected official, but to work for the betterment of all of us, in particular, regular working class people, like the community that I come from. You know, I'm from a group of people in my family who have never had a chance to live their dream. And so every single day, even the bad days, I give God the glory for the opportunity to walk through these doors and to live what I believe is my calling, and that is service to others. You know, one of the things that I found that I do not take lightly is the fact that I am, you know, when I was elected at age 26, I became the youngest woman of color ever to be elected to serve in either chamber of the legislature in the history of our state. And that has served to motivate me in many ways to be a leadership example to young women around the state who might be looking at me. I recently found out, I did not recognize this, but there have only been 32 women of color ever since 1837, ever in history, to serve in this chamber or in the Senate. So I appreciate the opportunity to represent us and to carry our story forward. I'd like to also thank the people of the 9th District, which is really the community that raised me. I've been so blessed. I live and I represent the community that my family moved to when I was 5 years old. And so all of the schools that I've gone to, all of the people that are now young adults like me that support me, many of them have personal stories about me because we are in this together. We grew up together. We've lived this together. Our story is the same. And so I feel it's been such an honor and such a privilege to be able to serve the community that raised me. I want to thank my mother who sacrificed her dreams for our dreams. I'm sorry. I want to thank my brother and my sister who have always supported me and been with me. I want to thank my aunt, Nicole. Nicole was the first person to believe that this could be done. I was 24 when I first ran for office. We lost by 276 votes. I'll never forget that number. Nobody knew me. But I said to Nicole, if we work hard, if we knock doors, if we tell our story, they'll understand, they'll see. And we won on election day, knowing how to do that, because we didn't have a lot of resources, but we won against 25 years of name ID on doors, talking, telling our story, expressing to people that you don't have to be legacy to lead, that we can raise up our own leaders and send them to the highest chambers in our nation's government to represent us. And so we came within 276 votes. We lost in absentees, but Nicole never turned on me. She never, I could tell Nicole I want to go to the moon, and she'd be like, okay, well, I have $5,000 towards it. What do we need to do? And so I love you, Nicole. Thank you for that. I want to thank my Aunt Emma. I want to thank my Aunt Karen, who certainly pray for me daily and who cry when they see me on television and when they see the fire in my belly about service to us as Detroiters and to people in general. I'd also like to thank my mentors, Chris Jackson and Hiram Jackson, who whooped me and have loved me through this process and are helping me chart a course for the future. They remind me all the time that you don't make moves without a plan, without strategy, and that you need a team, and they've been that for me because I had been accustomed to just really having my family and me, but they taught me that you need to build a system, and so I thank them. I know that I wouldn't be here without their leadership. I also want to thank the Wallace family, who is a family that really has given everything they can to me, and not just me. They've exemplified the spirit of service. There are many, many young people who, like me, who only had one parent in their home, who for whatever reason, through church or whatever, touched their lives. And they have undoubtedly left an indelible mark on us through their resources, through their prayers, through their love. And so I thank them. And also to a dear friend who has helped me through this process, who I call about every single thing. Sometimes, what should I wear? Even, you know, how should I respond? And that's to Lucius Vassar. So thank you for your leadership, Lucius, and your support of my dream and my family. Now I'd like to thank staff. Pastor David Crossley is a young man who has been with me since I was 15 years old. We met in the youth ministry at our church. And he was 16, I was 15, and our friendship really has never, we've never wavered. Now he is my pastor, and I just want to, David, I want to thank you for your leadership and for your support. He became, with no experience, the most amazing chief of staff that I could have ever dreamed of having. His relationship with people in the community, his compassion, his ability to catch on and to move fast really propelled our work in our district to new heights. And David, I thank you. David is also born and raised right in the 9th District. And so I just thank you for loving us, David. Thank you for not turning away or walking away. I want to thank Danielle, not Chapin, Danielle McCann now, who's been with me also. She started as an intern, just a young lady with a heart of gold, a fierce conviction about people and the fact that government, in our minds, and particularly in her mind, has a responsibility on some level to help people when they need help out of circumstances. Danielle, you know, one of the things that I look to when I judge a person is, and we all judge people at, you know, in our dealings on some level, but one of the things that I look to is, how do you treat your family? How do you treat the people that love you, that have sown into you, or even the people who may not have loved you like you would have liked them to, that are in your family? Do you love them beyond that? Danielle has lived her life, and she's only 25, 24 years old, in service to her brother who is disabled, in service now to her new husband who has gone through some things physically as well. So Danielle, thank you for your loyalty and your commitment to service to others. All the other things, the administrative work you learned, you figured it out, we got it done, and I wouldn't be standing here today without your service. And the people of our district, their everyday needs would not have been met without you. So thank you for your leadership there. Also, and I'll speed up, I want to thank a person who saw something in me when nobody did. At 22 years old, I want to thank now Senator Virgil Smith. Virgil had a staff full of 22-year-olds, and he was 22. And I just remember, because he was so caring and giving, and some might even say naive, he exposed me to so many things. He opened so many doors for me that others, because of legacy issues or distrust or whatever, they just would not have shown me. So I thank him for that willingness. I remember sitting here in this chamber in the back and probably the last seat on the Democratic side during his orientation. Nobody brings staff to orientation. He brought me with him. I watched and I took notes. I remember using the restroom back here for the first time, not even being able to believe that I was in this space. and talking to other members who happened to be in the building that day. And so I thank him. I remember speaking on panels at 22 years old and having the freedom he trusted me. He trusted my heart, he trusted my intelligence, he trusted my ability. And he put me in rooms that staff people were not in, particularly at the age of 22, with the mayor and the governor. And so I thank you, Kai, because I don't know, it would have been such a more difficult transition without you and your leadership and your support. I want to thank Marsha Cheeks and George Cushingberry, who loved me, and showed me and really helped to try to wipe some of the fear away in my eyes once I actually got what I wanted, which was the opportunity to serve. Marsha and Cush, every day in this experience, made sure that I knew that I had somebody, that there was nobody here, that we all have the same amount of constituents, and that nobody here was my boss, that we were equal, and that I owed everyone here respect, but that I deserved respect as well, and that my boss, the people who I worked for, lived down the street from me, and that I deserved, even with my age, the same respect as every member in this chamber. And her shoulder was always there for me. Cush pushed me into leadership positions. Because of him, I accepted a lot of posts that, in my own, I probably would not have, but he encouraged me to become vice chair of the Michigan Legislative Black Caucus in my first term. He encouraged me to accept the position of being a Speaker Pro Tem or Associate Speaker Pro Tem, and to take the gavel every time it was offered to me. I became the first Detroiter in 15 years to hold the gavel, and I think the second African-American woman in history to hold the gavel. And it was because of Cush, his consistent and constant encouragement, that I had the courage to be able to do that and to serve on appropriations. He put me next to him at times in committee. He put me on the front. I remember he offered me, he said, Rep, you're asking the first question on this budget. I'm like, what? I don't know what to say, to the governor, or what do you want me to, But those were the opportunities that he afforded me. And anybody who has worked in this business or in this industry or just in this capacity of service knows that people don't just offer you those things. They don't just do those things for you. But because Cush was confident and brilliant and led with love, he laid that out for me. And so I thank you, Cush. I thank you, Marsha. I also want to thank somebody who's in this chamber right now, Wood Stanley, who also has been a leader that I've watched in my service. Wood, thank you so much for the seeds that you've sown in my life, and your spirit of overcoming. I want to thank Kathy Anger. Kathy probably doesn't know it, but Kathy was one of the first people to teach me how to do politics. I have degrees, and I've done all these things where, I know about policy, I do my homework. Kathy taught me politics and how to navigate this experience. And sometimes she did it in a brash way, but she always pulled me aside, and we could have a moment of intense exchange. But I know that Kathy's heart was to show me the right way and to put me in a place where I would be able to be successful. I want to thank all the members serving now and the members that I have served with in the Detroit delegation. It seems like some days an insurmountable mountain. But continue to overcome. Keep your eyes on the Father. Trust in him and lean not on your own understanding. And our needs will be met as a community and as a city. And ultimately, the greater good of the state of Michigan will be met because Detroit's needs will be met. I want to thank Tyrone Sanders and Tanisha Sanders, who are in the lobby corps, but who are more than lobbyists, are true friends for me in my life. Also, Ken Cole. Also, Mike Hawks and Barb Farah. Thank you so much for being my friends. I can count on you for the truth, for information that would help me make the best decisions for my constituents. I will never forget you. Lastly, as it pertains to thanking people, I want to thank my seatmate, my current seatmate, Harvey Santana. And I just want the chamber to know that Harvey blessed me today with this bouquet of flowers that you see sitting on my desk. And the note said, "Thank you for your mentorship." Harvey has done more for me than I could have ever done for him. On personal levels, I mean, he totally made me open some doors in my thought that I was not willing to open as it pertains to, giving people a second chance. So he helped me in my spiritual walk. He's also helped me know or reinforce some of the things that I know, and that is so many things can be taught, but loyalty cannot be taught. Harvey, thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your integrity. Thank you for your honesty. And just thank you for your fire. It's good to have you here. You are truly a friend for the rest of my life. And you know what? And thank you for your leadership example with your family. I listen to you all the time, honoring your wife, honoring your child. And I just appreciate that example. So thank you for all that you do. And I'm with you till the end. So thank you. And last but not least, I don't think I mentioned David Nathan. David, thank you for being so good to me. We have a lot of laughs. We've certainly had our debates, but I appreciate you because when you came in your first term, my second term, I definitely needed a friend, and you became that. So thank you. Thank you. So I just want to say a couple more things, and then I'll be done. People ask me all the time, why do I serve? Why did you choose politics? Oh, why would you do this? All over the country, people ask me that. And I don't have an eloquent answer, but it's just that I love us. Well, who is us? And I love humanity, don't get me wrong, but I love us. Regular, everyday, working class people. All of those folks that make $40,000 a year, maybe 50, living check to check, who really just need government to provide the services that it's supposed to provide. Sometimes they may need some components of the safety net, but mostly they just need to know that the street lights will work. They need to know that the police are funded and that they will come when they call them. They need to know that the buses will run so that they can work overtime and their children can go to school. That's why I do this work, for them. And that's why I will always serve. It's to make life better. All of the small things that matter to those families that really can be the difference between a good year and a bad year, a good day and a bad day. And so it reminded me of a quote by Dr. King that really inspires me, and it is, "An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all of humanity." I would just encourage you, colleagues, to remember that each one of us brings individual concerns. We sort of had this conversation in a committee hearing earlier today. Each one of us can say, well, that doesn't affect me, or I don't need that, or da-da-da-da-da. But what are the broader concerns of all of us? And can you reach beyond yourself and think about the needs and the greater good of all of us? And so I just want to thank you for having this opportunity to serve with you. I want to, for 3 seconds, Madam Chair, take a moment to talk really fast about the opportunity that I've had to pass some of the legislation that I've gotten done in the spirit of all of those working class people. All of the laws that I've been able to pass, whether it was just through the House or I think I have 12 or 15 public acts, but I passed a lot of bills even through the House. And I'm proud to say that most of those pieces of legislation were substantive policy changes that affect the lives, I think better the lives of everyday folks. First of its kind law on the state level in the nation, a law that mandated before mortgage companies foreclose on a property, they have to attempt to renegotiate the loan. I've passed laws. Just this year, I'm so thankful to have had bipartisan support to pass a law that will work to ensure that there is equality and diversity on jury pools in the state of Michigan. You know, I've passed laws that allow the city of Detroit to be able to go after the people that cause blight. I've passed laws that make sure adult foster care workers have licenses and are checked. I've passed bills through this chamber that help impoverished families be able to stay in their home if they make arrangements on their delinquent taxes. I've passed bills through this House that have empowered the insurance commissioner to issue refunds for consumers when they're overcharged for their coverage. And there are other things as well. But I would encourage you all as you go forward to think about that everyday person and all of the small things that we do or don't do that can impede or make greater their lives. In closing, I'll say, I want to leave you with a scripture. Matthew 25:40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done in and unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Remember that the Father is watching you, and just do the right thing. Do everything that you can to help the least of these, because you are helping him when you do. God bless you. I wish you the best. I am praying for you. God bless the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit. Thank you.